Hello and welcome to Drinky Talky Thing number 145.
We're still here.
We're still here. We've been a while. I've had work. I'm not gonna lie. I've been around the country, quite literally.
Like half the people we're trying to talk to. I mean, the irony is they're trying to keep up with the gaming news.
Yeah.
So they come to us because we're experts.
They're coming to us because we're drunken idiots that they find amusing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we've been busy and haven't really kept up with stuff. But we have a list of stuff that we're ready to go through.
We have a list of random stories, because there's just so much.
I'm wearing my podcast T-shirt.
Yeah. I can't believe you've only just realised that you wear the same T-shirt.
I'm a man of many T-shirts. Basically, Paddy, the podcast changes from day to day. Sometimes it's a Thursday, sometimes it's a Friday, sometimes it's a Saturday. And somehow, it's the same T-shirt every damn day. You
have worn that T-shirt for more podcasts.
I don't wear a T-shirt more than 2 days tops.
Yeah.
And somehow, it's the same damn T-shirt. I look like I never wash.
What's more worrying for you is that it's only since the video that you've realised this, but I've noticed this for quite some time.
It's this shirt, or a blue shirt equivalent.
Yeah.
Basically, I wear a blue shirt every freaking damn time. I'm going to mix it up next week. I don't know how, but I will find a T-shirt that is not blue.
Well, next week's a gaming week, so...
Oh, brilliant. I can get away with anything on. Should I clear this first?
Pick a random line. Oh, clear. Yeah,
there we go.
Okay, so Steam Music.
Is that a thing?
It's apparently a thing that's coming.
What you'll probably find this week is Paddy has read all the news. I've read none of the news. And
no, Paddy's read the headlines and knows how to bullshit from there.
Oh, fantastic. So Steam is launching a music service.
Yeah, literally a Spotify-like music streaming service.
I just made that up.
Yeah.
It's quite obvious from the headline.
Yeah.
Ow. I don't know where to go from there.
It's fucking... Why do we need another music streaming service? We don't. Spotify does the job.
Well, you say that. I have a gripe with Spotify this week.
Do you?
Yeah, because somebody... I have made the mistake of sharing my Spotify accounts with multiple people.
See, that's your mistake.
So Fiona has access, I have access, and I think Dan Allen may have access. And this week, every single Spotify playlist has disappeared. Deleted. Gone. Bit of an annoyance, but I have...
Check your account, because that happened to me.
Oh, right, fair enough. I'll go further, and you might be able to finish this off for me. So I thought nothing of it. My starred tracks suddenly became full of absolute shite. I had music from French people. I had Rihanna and Eminem. I had all sorts of terrible music.
Log into your account as fast as possible.
Changed it. Already done it.
Yeah. Because it happened to me. It turned out that somebody in Brazil, because they've recently launched there, had managed to create an account. Create an account using the same username, which logged them into my account. They then deleted everything. Contact Spotify support. They will be able to restore all your playlists.
I'm not too fussed, to be fair.
Oh, fair enough.
But again, starred tracks, absolute nonsense. So I thought, well, someone's clearly been a dick. So I made a new playlist. I emptied the starred tracks. Suddenly my new playlist was completely empty, but still existed.
Yeah.
Empty. And my starred tracks went up to more Rihanna, Eminem, and so on. And I just thought, clearly someone's been a knob. So I changed the password.
Yeah.
But beyond that, Spotify has been brilliant.
Yeah, on mine, not only did they change the password, they changed the username, changed the billing address, changed everything. And I just gave I contacted Spotify support immediately. Went, this is my details. These are the details the account was set up on. Fucking fix it.
This is clearly all wrong. Sort it out.
Yeah. But Steam are launching their own music service, and what? Is this me? Is this my wedding thing? A
bit of context. Paddy requested to bring a sword to my wedding. The other half said no, obviously. So I said, just a nerf sword and a few guns then. I've received 3 text messages since, and they all say no. So my message reads no, and no. So I don't think that's allowed, if I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I won't bring a Nerf gun.
I might.
No, she hasn't forbidden the attack nid yet.
Yeah, well, she didn't know about that. I've not mentioned it. Let's move on from Steam.
Steam music. No, should we stay with Steam for the other Steam stories?
You can do if you know them.
There is the fact that Steam has now allowed you to cancel pre-orders.
Oh.
Which is new news. Because you could pre-order stuff and...
This shouldn't really be news, should it?
No, it shouldn't really be news, but it's actually a thing now. So before, you could pre-order on Steam and you were kind of fucked.
Yeah.
If the game then turned out to be shit and you wanted to cancel your pre-order, at a physical store you could get rid of it, and Steam have finally caught up. The other side of the Steam news is obviously the German ruling on pre-owned copies.
I'd find this a bit of a... Honestly, I was rooting for the Germans in this case. It's a rare scenario where I'm rooting for the Germans, but I wanted them to win. Because... Yeah,
the Germans ruled that digital copies fell within their free trade agreement that allowed you to resell pre-owned, copyrighted trademark properties.
Anything you've bought, you should be able to resell.
If you've purchased it, you are allowed to resell it. Or as the first owner of the license.
Yeah.
And they extended that to include digital, and then they went to bat and took Steam to court.
Yeah.
And the court has sided with Steam.
Yeah, I don't find that to be right, if I'm going to be honest.
No.
It's not right. It shouldn't be right.
The German board that set this ruling has kind of hinted, well, basically left it very clear that they will probably be fighting that.
It's that whole thing. Software licensing on the whole is a difficult scenario. If you pay a recurring license, I can understand that.
Well, you
shouldn't be able to resell a recurring license because you're paying for as you use it.
That's why Adobe went to the recurring license.
Yeah, if you buy it outright, you should be able to resell it. Cause it's like any other product.
Yeah.
It loses value over time because it's essentially old software. So you should be able to resell it. I don't understand the logic.
Look at the PS Plus side of things.
Yeah.
PS Plus, the moment you stop paying the recurring subscription, you lose access to everything that you've paid for.
Exactly. Which reminds me, I still haven't bought my PlayStation Plus yet. Sorry,
But the German courts will fight that, and I'm hoping they'll get that right, because the moment the Germans do it, that's the entire Europe.
Yeah, basically, because if you win in German or Europe or UK courts, you have a good stead, don't you?
Yeah,
for the rest of Europe.
Because the moment a big Germany, France, UK, and Spain.
Well, usually I'd say Spain, but
maybe Italy.
Nah, I'd probably... Spain's bigger than Italy. It's got more weight behind it. And to be honest, from a language point of view, you usually focus on France,
but
Germany,
one of those four stands and makes a ruling on something like this. The European courts follow suit.
Yeah.
Which would mean that the entire Europe would follow suit. Which means that generally, based on that, it's kind of a good foothold for the Americans to adopt the same policy, because they can go, well, the Europeans are doing it, and that's that many countries.
Exactly.
And once the Americans do it,
fuck off.
at which point the Americans have done it, which means the rest of the world do it.
Yeah.
You picked a random story. What's the next story then?
Painfully difficult Flappy Bird generates $50,000 a day in ad revenue.
Yeah,
I want to shoot myself reading that. Because it's a most ridiculous, simple game. It's not in any way advanced. It's a game that's been around for so long, they just reskinned it. It's part of what is essentially a student project. There is no way it should generate that much money. I don't know how it is. In fact, it's surrounded by this whole shroud of a lot of people think there are false. I don't know if you know this. Basically, from the point of Flappy Bird, a lot of people believe that Flappy Bird has been augmented slightly.
Yeah.
It's a game that exists, fine. But somebody a lot of people believe that it is being pushed up the charts by some kind of dodgy activity. So basically, as if somebody has paid to be pushed up the charts by lots of purchases of this game. It's free to play, doesn't need purchases, just downloads.
Yeah.
So potentially it could be exploited by lots of anonymous IPs downloading this game, pushing it up the charts.
I'm not discounting that,
Yeah.
but what doesn't...
It's a shit game. It's not a good game. It's full of flaws.
It's
not necessarily that
frustrating.
addictive. It's frustrating. It's not what would... If you could make a formula for a good game, this is far from it.
Yeah.
Granted, you get the odd outlier, the odd one that is a success beyond the fact that it shouldn't be a success. The original developer
is very popular on YouTube. This is one of the we're dealing with the YouTube generation here.
I think it's purely
it's
right place, right time. It's
right
pure
place,
luck.
right place, right time. I don't think it's been manipulated. I think it's just been right place, right time. January is a very slow month for YouTube. This is a documented fact on YouTube channel. So a lot of gaming channels are looking for things that are very simple to pick up, make very interesting videos on very quickly. And Flappy Bird is a game that you can play one of those very frustrated videos and make a very funny video as to how fucking
you just
badly
have to
you play
really irate.
Yeah, basically,
comedy gold.
Think of the bits where we get really angry and start shouting, and that's an entire Flappy Bird video.
Yeah. There's something not right about Flappy Bird. I'm sure it'll come out if there is. If nothing comes out, fine. But there's something not right about Flappy Bird.
No, a lot of the YouTubers that I follow have done Flappy Bird videos, and they just read as this is something that I can put together in half an hour.
Yeah.
And
it's
be
cheap
done.
For everyone involved in it. It's just not.
It's very fast for them, and then all of their fans. Now, some of the people I follow have 2, 4, 10 million viewers.
Yeah.
And if a percent, you know the law of percentages, 10% of them pick up the game. That's a lot of players.
So, from what I hear, the Order, the PS4 exclusive, won't have multiplayer.
This is the Order is one of those games that I'm looking forward to, but I haven't followed as closely as I probably should have. It's kind of a medieval mystery, not medieval mystery, but mystery thing, weird thing. The main reason I left this story in here is it's the first game in quite some time that I've seen deliberately leave out multiplayer.
Yeah.
And
I'm quite happy.
I am happy at the fact that a game has gone, we are a single player experience, and you know what? We're going to make a single player experience. Fuck multiplayer.
It's the beyond and all is we're quite happy for the fact that it's not a formulaic development. It's not one of these, right, what do we need? Multiplayer? Tick. We need some kind of occult reference.
That's
tick. It is purely, this is the game we want to make.
The Order 1866, the occult thing. It's kind of an occult...
You've said occult twice now.
Cyberpunk thing.
They have a game in mind and they're sticking to it.
Yeah.
And that is, to be fair, it's something that hasn't happened in a long time.
Yeah.
I say a long time. There are obviously still developers that produce these things, but very few reach critical acclaim. This could be a game that not only reaches critical acclaim, but is actually good.
Yeah.
It doesn't have multiplayer. They've
That's
stuck
it.
to the guns.
They've gone, we are a single player only experience. Let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Something that BioShock should have done.
It's like Call of Duty. They have the opposite problem.
Yeah.
They go, we're a multiplayer and single player. You're not. Nobody cares about your single player.
Yeah.
Just make the multiplayer game.
Call of Duty released multiplayer only, and they'd be fine.
Yeah. But they don't. They release a single player. This
Resistance
storyline.
Resistance 3 did it. The Resistance 3 is the last one that did it the other way around. They realised that it wasn't selling, so what did they do? On the PSN store, they released the multiplayer only version of it.
Yeah.
At half the price.
Why not? If it gets you some extra sales, do it. But in this point, they're developing for a single player game. And a lot of games develop for single player and tack on a multiplayer. But what's happening more and more is they're developing a multiplayer and then tacking on a single player, and it's just
Bioshock 2.
Well, there you go.
That multiplayer was
Call of
fun.
Duty. I'm not even going to put a tagline on the end of that. Any Call of Duty.
The single player is an afterthought.
Yeah, it really is.
The fact that they reused actual animation sequences.
You could go far back. You could Call of Duty 1, 2, 3, whatever. They are not single player with tacked on multiplayer. They're not multiplayer with tacked on single player. They are a balanced game developed and so on. Call of Duty beyond that is very much, well, you can make money from this. This is multiplayer. They tack on a new feature.
Yeah.
The story essentially could be an add-on pack. It could be a DLC.
Yep.
Nothing new. But they tack on a new feature and make it a new game. Multiplayer. Job done. That's the annoying thing. So this is it's a welcome change. It's different.
That's why the story stayed in there, because I really like that a developer is sticking to their guns.
Yeah.
It's not often they do, and fuck it, they deserve credit.
Exactly. Not that I want to rush things along, but I'm struggling to read that, and the more I drink of this, I
can still read that. I can. Yeah, we're fine.
Cool.
As long as you can find the random pick button, that's all good. Sonic.
I'll line up the mouse.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Sonic Boom.
Oh no.
You didn't actually click the button. That'll do.
It's fine.
Yeah. Sonic Boom.
Yes.
That's what the next story is. There's a new Sonic game, might hit the Xbox One, PS4 and Wii U in 2015. It won't. It'll just hit the Wii U. It's part of the 3 exclusives deal that Wii U has. So the first one was Sonic Lost Worlds, which was a fucking farce. Absolute bollocks. Really, really fucking can't stand it. I played the demo and yeah. I'm going to stop now. Yeah.
One of us here is a Sonic fanboy. Guess which one? Right, the only problem I have with Sonic Boom, the only thing that's been pointed out to me, I didn't make this realisation myself, but clearly some point throughout the whole trailer movie thing, people fall and land in a heap, right? Sonic lands in a heap, Tails lands in a heap, Knuckles lands in a heap, the silly pink one lands perfectly.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Sonic landing in a heap, fine, it's a hedgehog. Tails can frickin' fly. Knuckles can glide. The silly pink one has no redeeming qualities, but lands perfectly. What the hell is going on?
No, the dress. She can use the dress as a parachute.
Bullshit. The other one can glide.
She's the only one wearing fucking clothes.
But fly! She can... Tails can fly!
Yeah, anyway. Sonic Boom is the new universe. Now, this is the redeeming point of this. It's the fact that they've moved it on to a separate universe. They're going with the multiverse kind of thing. Sonic Boom universe is completely separate from anything that's gone before.
So Tails can't fly. Clearly.
No, Tails can fly, but they're...
So they fucked up, basically, is what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, but they've modified everyone's powers. So Tails can fly.
Right.
Still. Knuckles can't just punch through walls. He can actually properly dig tunnels and shit. Yeah.
And he's also on steroids.
Yeah, and he's also quite fucking steroid in hand.
Double the size of anyone else in the entire universe.
But it does kind of finally move him away from just being a red Sonic clone.
As far as I was concerned, previous Knuckles was just Sonic on weed.
Mm.
He looked like Sonic with dreadlocks.
He looked like Stoner Sonic. Yes. And Amy still looks odd, like a Sonic clone that happens to have worn a dress and picked up a hammer.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a shared universe. So there's the game that's coming and is being built with CryEngine. It's being built. It's being built on the CryEngine. It's said to be locked at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything beyond that.
There's something. It seems wrong. Sonic being built on the CryEngine for one just seems odd.
Considering they've spent so much time building the Sonic engine.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, wow, those fucking palm trees look so realistic. Is that a box in that tree? Fantastic. Why?
Yeah. But it's also going to be paired with a Cartoon Network TV series, the first CG Sonic TV series.
Yeah. Everyone knows a game TV series tie-in always ends
well. Oh yeah, it always works. So
yeah.
Then again, Sonic cartoon series has already predicted Sonic Boom because they had the Sonic with bandages on him in 1991.
Well, there you go. Good job done. Not quite the same bandages, but
yeah.
Why not?
And then there is the image of just the progression of Sonic, and it seems that every few years his legs extend.
Yeah. His body doesn't actually change though, does it?
His body's proportion doesn't change, but the proportion of leg to body, it has increased every time they've redesigned Sonic. Yeah. So the first time it was about 5%, the second time it was 15%, this time it's about 25%. So in about 2050 he'll be 50% leg.
Yeah, you won't even see Sonic. He'll look like a lollipop.
But then
a little dot on the
if
end.
he's supposed to go as fast as he does, then it's the legs doing all the work. So they're going to stretch.
It makes no sense for them to be that long, though. I mean, essentially, he's going to be Usain Bolt. That is kind of the pinnacle of Sonic. Long legs, but everything else in proportion. You should have longer arms. You should have longer everything. It's just not there. It makes no sense.
I've never measured the proportions of Usain Bolt.
Have you not?
So, no.
He's a lovely chap. Just ask him nicely. He's fine.
Yeah, but he's flogging Virgin Mobile, so I don't care.
I've clicked a few too many times ahead here, haven't I?
Yeah, you've clicked.
I've heard that EverQuest is coming to PlayStation 4.
EverQuest Next is coming to PlayStation 4.
Well, everyone knows that's what I'm on about.
Yeah.
Totally.
No, EverQuest is still running. EverQuest 2 is still running. EverQuest Landmark is in beta. EverQuest Next is the MMO that EverQuest Landmark is building all the shit for.
Yeah, and Elder Scrolls Online is going to fail.
That's not nothing to do with this story.
Nothing in the slightest, but I figured if we're going to mention MMOs, we should get that in there, because it is going to fail.
It is. It's getting very bad. But Smedley has confirmed that... I'm saying Smedley is John Smedley. Head of Sony MMO department.
His name is Smedley.
You may be a bit too drunk for tonight's podcast, but it will. An MMO coming to the PS4 confirmed. A builder sandbox MMO like EverQuest Next coming to PS4 is worth mentioning.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we still haven't had an MMO break the console market.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened yet. So,
no. Well,
despite being hammered, even I can relate to the fact that it's not been done yet.
Yeah,
and
this is
Universe
the DC Universe Online. It's actually picking up a lot of traction now because it's free on the PS4, and people are going on their PS4 stores and going, "Well, I've played all of the games that have come out for it because there are fucking none." And they're going to the free games and they're picking up the DC Universe Online and going, well, this is actually pretty good.
It could be an interesting game. The problem I get is, the way I see it, every MMO I've ever played has always been behind the times in terms of gameplay.
Yeah.
But they make up for it with community.
And a sandbox game fixes that problem.
Well, yeah, that's it. Consoles don't necessarily make the most of the community like PC games do.
No.
So until they fix that problem, you're going to hit an issue. Until you do the sandbox thing.
Yeah.
At which point the
community drives the gameplay.
Yeah.
And the gameplay can then keep up with the community, and it's a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
Nintendo. Oh my God, Nintendo. Right. Nintendo have been doing badly. We know this.
Yeah. They've bad times.
Bad times for Nintendo.
They pizzaed when they should have French fried. It's not good.
It's
a South Park reference. It's fine. Anyone that's ever skied? Pizza, French fry. If you're pizza, if you're French fry, you slow down. Yeah, if you're pizza when you should have French fried, bad times.
Fair enough. But yeah, they've been having bad times. And Iwata, and all of the board for that matter, have taken a substantial pay decrease. Most of the board, it ranges from 20 to 35%.
Yeah.
Iwata himself has taken a 50% pay decrease so that other people, the lower downs, don't have to.
Yeah, he's only getting paid a couple of million a year now, so bad times.
Yeah, no.
He must weep into his dollars at night. I don't know why he's got dollars. He should have yen, really. But when you say dollars, it's worth more. If you say that, he's got a couple of thousand yen to weep into, that's like £1. It's just not.
But you've got to accept that's quite a bold statement from them.
Yeah.
It's a case of, we know we can fix this, and we know it's our fault, so we're going to bear the brunt of it so that you guys don't have to, which makes the staff feel happy, which makes them more productive.
Exactly. As much as I joke, and this is something that any CEO or any high-up person should do. If your company fails because of the lack of direction it's been given,
it's your fault, therefore you should take the blame.
Exactly, yeah, but it never works.
And the Nintendo mentality is that that's what they do. This hasn't helped. This hasn't stopped some bad times befalling them. In that the remaining shares of the founding family. Now, Nintendo was founded by an individual family, and the original founders have passed quite some time ago.
Yeah.
And the people that inherited the shares of the founding family have, in the last fortnight, sold on the shares.
Yeah, so there's no family ownership anymore.
No, there's no family. There's no original Nintendo family ownership. But those shares are still within Nintendo. They publicly they announced that they wanted to sell, but they did it. They had to announce it publicly, but they had to offer the Nintendo board the rights to buy first.
Yeah.
And the Nintendo board have. Which means that the board now has a lot more control over what they do.
A bit more vested interest.
Yeah. Which probably leads into why the decisions have been made that have been made. In the next few months, we can actually expect Nintendo IPs to be licensed out to other developers. So we could possibly see a Zelda game not developed by the normal Zelda team.
No. What I read from it was the fact that they're licensing out their characters.
They said IPs.
All I read was characters.
The version I read was IPs, and they could license out entire IPs.
Because they did make a point of saying the fact that Nintendo games would still exist within the Nintendo infrastructure.
No. That's the same thing. That's the same thing I read. That Nintendo IPs would still be they'd be able to be licensed out. So somebody else could make an entire Zelda game, but if they were making a Zelda game, it would only be available within the Nintendo infrastructure. Right. So you could have Bethesda making a Zelda game, but they would only be able to make it if it was Nintendo exclusive.
See, I was reading into the fact that characters might exist in other games in other areas.
No, because
but the games essentially would still belong to.
No, the way it's said is that the characters are not going to be on non-Nintendo machines.
Right.
So what they're saying is that the Nintendo franchises. So we could see a Mario game made by Ubisoft,
or a Zelda game made by EA, where every time you smash,
there's no.
You see where I'm going?
I see where you're going with that.
Every time you smash a pot, that's 20p. Or if you cut down some grass, 20p.
But think about it. There's a few franchises that Could work. Think about it. Nintendo, the Nintendo. We've been through this conversation a couple of times in the last
times.
Yeah, the IPs that Nintendo own, Earthrise, completely underutilized. Give it to Ubisoft. Let Ubisoft. Sorry, where am I going with Ubisoft? Bethesda. Give it to Bethesda. In fact, no, they'll just come back with a buggy game. Give it to Ubisoft. They can actually make a game that actually works.
I think Ubisoft are the most underrated developer currently.
Yeah.
Like, massively.
But sell somebody the Earthrise franchise. Let them make a Wii U exclusive Earthrise franchise. And then fucking people will flock to the Wii U.
Yeah.
All three of them.
Yeah. You'd have a friend, at least. It's fine. So, we should move on to other things.
Yeah.
Amazon has bought a developer. Amazon are getting into games, damn it.
This is interesting. Because they bought Double Helix.
Yeah. Who are making Killer Instinct.
Yeah, who have made the Killer Instinct release on Xbox One.
Yeah.
Which has bought them out of the ongoing development of the Killer Instinct franchise.
Not necessarily. Part of the contract was they have said that they will continue any current IP development. So presuming they have something currently in place, they will continue that until it's finished. But beyond that, there's nothing.
There's no IP development being done on the Killer Instinct franchise.
Fantastic, so there's nothing there.
Yeah. So basically, Microsoft own the Killer Instinct franchise at this point.
Yeah. Well, what they made a point of saying was the fact that whatever the studio was working on previously is continuing.
Yeah.
So it might not just be Killer Instinct. Whatever the studio is working on.
They weren't working on anything.
No, I don't know what they were working on, but
it's interesting that Amazon have bought a games developer outright. We knew they were getting into the games, into the game side of things.
I mean, this has sent the rumour mill wild.
Yeah, this has gone everybody crazy, and basically, anybody who's got a common ounce of sense was, well, eventually they were going to buy a developer.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing for me is the fact that people are saying is Amazon are going to release a $200-esque console.
No, they're going to release a Steam box.
Yeah, I find that ridiculous.
They'll release a Steam box.
I don't think they will. I think they'll release an Android platform box.
Chrome box. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, Chrome
because
box.
they already have, right? They already have an Android. The thing is, this is two different theories.
Yeah.
They can't release a $200 box. That's too expensive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. If they release an Android box, they already have the Fire and all that stuff. Yeah. Imagine being able to play all your games on console as well as on... Why not? Link the two together.
Yep.
But do not release a $200 console box. That is
they've got the Chrome key. The Chrome USB thing.
Can they use that, the whole Android?
Yeah, it's a HDMI plug-in.
Yeah, but Androids, they have a very locked down.
Yeah, but
yeah, I imagine they can.
If it's it'd be the Amazon version of the Chrome key.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's no reason to have a more powerful box.
No,
but they could release something that makes it all seamless, simple, easy, rather than just some ginger girl on the end of a
fucking advert.
Right, how can I help you there?
How can I help you? I've never been more of a generic accent if I fucking tried.
I love, the best thing about those adverts is, in case you're wondering, there's an advert for somebody presses the help button on their Kindle Fire and some Irish ginger person comes up and says, how can I help you? And he goes, I'm trying to get it on my TV. How can I do it? He goes, oh, just press the icon. Seriously, there's a big fucking TV icon. How could you not think... Oh, thank you there.
The entire thing about the advert is that there's somebody there that can then see your video. The only time that button is ever going to be pressed is by accident. So it's basically that person at the end of that video call is just going to get
I love what you're wearing.
They're not even going to get that. It's just going to be somebody a bit overexcited and accidentally the thumb hits the button.
Oh, that's just... Oh, I'm never going to take a job in an Amazon call centre.
And on that mental image, we're going to take a break.
Yeah, time for a song. I don't even know where we are on here now.
And we're not going to lie. We didn't listen to the song. The song was very, very obviously suggested by Trevor, and we will. There'll be a link below.
Oh, it's awesome! Best song ever.
Be a link below and a link on the website to the song. And now
we're a bit drunker than usual, aren't we? That's the
problem. The fact that we spent the first hour and a half just drinking. Yeah. That was probably an unwise idea.
Also, there is a game that helps you find the cure of cancer.
This is awesome. This is a British developer. It doesn't matter what country they're from. I just remember that it's a British developer. They've written a game along the line of the cure for.
I have a relevant side story to this.
The Human Genome Project, where you you did things and you mapped out the genome.
Somehow your clever computer would do things while you. Yeah.
So SETI has had the screensaver and.
Folding at home and all that kind
Folding
of
at home. Can
I go on to my side story now?
Yeah.
Because it's quite applicable, right? Do you remember how you used to have SETI and you used to have folding at home and you used to have all these things that benefited society? Have you realised what we have now?
No.
We have Bitcoin and we have Dogecoin.
Yeah.
And we have Litecoin. All of those spare bits of processing power are now being directed purely towards...
Making money.
Whereas previously they were directed towards things that benefited society. So you had things like folding at home that would fold proteins to work out how they interacted.
And we've actually found the protein sequences for so many viruses.
Exactly. And I just find that this whole Bitcoin, Dogecoin thing is just completely and utterly out of context.
I'd happily allow... If Dogecoin or Bitcoin partnered up with... the likes of Folding or SETI, and actually made their mining process actually beneficial too.
Well, it's the whole thing. Folding at home was a competition. People would actually say, my pool has done this, my pool's done that, and so on. And you would have, great, put a fucking reward to it.
Yeah.
And it's like saying, well, how do you reward something? We don't have any money, but neither is Dogecoin, neither is Bitcoin. It's an algorithm that has been made increasingly difficult the more you do it.
Yeah.
That has absolutely no benefit to society at all.
None whatsoever. This one, the story, getting back to the story, is that people have, that some of the British scientists have released a game that takes advantage of the human brain. Now, they did this recently, not Folding at Home, but another group did a protein mapping thing where you could try and play. You had a very simple web game and you had to try and get through the map, and it was using human pattern recognition to get you through that map. But that's because human pattern recognition is better than machine pattern recognition by orders of magnitude.
Yeah.
And this is a mobile game based on that principle that is mapping cancer genomes.
Yeah.
So the kids are being offered, this is your spaceship. You have to get from this sector to that sector. And as far as they're concerned, they're just mapping the safest way through the sectors.
Yeah. What it's actually doing is...
What they're actually doing is looking at a cancer, a very small segment of a cancer genome, and looking for signifying factors, because that's what defines the interstellar map, and they're looking for the pattern.
Can I as well just throw out another one? Recently, there's a guy who, I think he works for Google. He basically works on the fact that the future of technology and how it's going to work. I think he worked out by like 2050 or something. They're going to have a computer that's as intelligent as a human brain. And the whole point of...
I doubt that.
Yeah, well, if they do, great. My boss at work was saying, it's quite depressing. We could be replaced by humans for the general autonomous nature of a lot of jobs in the universe world. Things that we do could be replaced by machines.
But that's just general progression.
I think I'm the only one that went, so I could retire at 50. Because according to...
But that's...
According to the government, I'm retiring at the age of 66 currently.
Yeah.
Right? At the current rate, I'll be retiring by the age of 75, 80.
Yeah.
if I can be replaced by a machine at 50, fuck it, I'm being replaced by a machine at 50. I'm quite happy to hand them everything.
That's general progression of work.
Yeah.
Every generation has been replaced by machines. It's just general.
The problem is they made a point of saying the fact that the only careers that are safe are anything remotely creative.
Yeah, and and quite frankly, the human species is a lazy bunch of bastards. We are genetically a lazy fucking species.
Yeah.
Everything we can do to make life easier. Tools make life easier. Spears made hunting easier.
Yeah, you would think we put a lot of effort in, really, to make things easier for us in the future.
We make the effort to make our future life easier.
Yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't you?
And that's it. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, where were we going? Cure for cancer. It's coming. There's kids playing games now that will help for the cure for cancer, and it's awesome.
Jump onto that next story now.
CCP. CCP are awesome. I just want to put that out there. I quite like that. How many fucking times did you click that button?
I clicked it a few times.
Yeah. CCP are... They're doing three things at the minute. First is that Valkyrie, the first-person drone shooter demo that they released for the Oculus, is going to be an Oculus launch game.
Woo! Whenever that
They've confirmed that. The second...
if you don't have a launch date, that could be... Yeah.
The second is that CCP are erecting a in-game monument to a recent battle. Last week, there was a battle in EVE that wiped out $300,000 physical money worth of actual...
I want to point out, no, it's not necessarily money, but time.
No, it was actual money.
Well, no, but I mean, it's like a Titan. They've worked out equates.
No. You're not. You're forgetting to include Plex.
Well, that's it. But not everyone gets their in-game money through buying it in. Some people actually earn it in-game.
No. Characters that were actually carrying Plex.
Oh, because actual in-game money.
Pilot license exchanges. Exchanges an actual item in game that you buy with real money. That item is still worth real money until you sell it to another player.
So potentially there's that on top of the fact that the amount of
time
invested.
So they can actually physically justify that entire battle was worth that much money because they can tell where that income came from, and there was multiple thousands of people included in a battle, and it was that big that they're going to put a permanent ship graveyard in the site of that battle. They're actually going to put an in-game monument, which is a ship wasteland, into that area. The videos of that battle.
The thing is, you watch the images, you have no idea what's happening. It's just lines. But lots of ships.
I've watched some of the videos, and it's lines and lots of ships. But I've then seen overlays where somebody's gone to the effort of watching those videos and actually overlaid a dot on every individual ship, and then shown a time, because they do the time dilation thing. When multiple people are in an area, they deliberately dilate time so that servers can keep up. And they maxed out the time dilation that the servers were able to apply because there was just that many people creating that many actions in that small an area.
Yeah.
And it was just...
I love the fact that these battles are becoming more and more frequent.
Yeah.
It's as if to say, things are starting to ramp up. There is a massive tension in EVE.
Yeah.
There might not be, but I'd hope there is, because you're going to end up with this epic battle at the end.
At some point, it will just go. The entire EVE universe will just...
won't it? There'll be one guy that didn't enter the battle with the tiniest of ships, and he'll walk out, guys! He'll just...
Hello!
He'll win by default.
Here? But at the same time, CCP are also going to erect a real-life monument in their homeland of Iceland for their fans. So anybody that is an active, subscribed player on the 1st of March this year will be immortalised in a physical monument in Iceland.
I might start playing by the end of February, I'm going to be honest.
And the monument will be quite substantial. It's quite a big thing that they're planning to build, and underneath will be a laptop that contains a physical state of the EVE universe at that time.
Nice.
So they're actually building, they're actually making it not just a monument but a time capsule as well.
Oh, pretty cool. Sorry, I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, you've had much to drink.
Too much talk of CCP and EVE. But
we've done the season. We've done the court siding with Valve. We've done. Here we go. Kojima, and he's had.
Yeah.
I give him his due for this one. He's had some interviews on the new Metal Gear Solid 5, and he has said that the core storyline of Metal Gear Solid 5 is finishable in 3 to 4 hours.
I'm not sure where he stands yet. Because the problem is, we know our Western heroes. So we have Ken Levine, we have John Carmack, we have the people, Peter Molyneux, people that speak out that we love to take the piss out of.
Yeah.
But Kojima is one that is, because I don't understand half the stuff that comes out of.
Yeah.
Because a lot of it is native. It's very much Japanese focused. It's not aimed at us. But this one's different. This is one where he's finally said that. Well, he's actually commenting on the length of a Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah.
Now, Metal Gear Solid 4 was huge if you factored in the pre-animated
the
cutscenes in between.
If you took out the cutscenes, it was tiny.
Yeah.
And the problem is he's getting
the same thing again.
He's getting slated because he said that Metal Gear Solid is only 4 to 5 hours core storyline. It's fucking not. Guarantee you he's discounting the cutscenes.
Yeah.
Even if he isn't discounting the cutscenes.
Hell, there's 4 or 5 hours of cutscenes in the last one, so I refuse to believe.
Yeah. Even if he isn't discounting the cutscenes, and you can actually pile through the entire game in 4 to 5 hours. He's saying core storyline.
Yeah.
If you're playing Metal Gear Solid for the core storyline and ignoring everything that goes outside that, then you're playing the fucking game wrong.
This is what I find odd is, as I get older, I start to look back at how I played games and judge myself a little bit. For that, you pay 40 quid for a game, why would you rush through it?
I don't rush through a single game.
I just don't get it at all. I mean, you spend time exploring every single avenue you can.
Well, no, you explore every avenue that you've got the time for. I mean, now, because I don't have as much time for games, I rush through them a lot faster than I did before. The original going to Batman, the original Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
I played that to death. I 80% of that. I really couldn't do the challenge modes. I didn't get 100%. I'm not going to lie and say I got 100%. Yeah. But I was aiming for it.
You did the best you bloody well could.
I did the best I damn well could. Because that was many years ago and I had the time.
Yeah.
Arkham City came out. Fuck it. I'm powering through the main storyline. I'm going to play some of the side franchises because I know that's got characters that I like.
I dare say this to you, Paddy, but that's not an accurate comparison. Because Arkham City had shit in it. You had a lot of crap you just didn't need to do nor want to do.
No, but
and that's the problem. It was padding.
A lot of it was fan padding.
Yeah.
And I liked the fan padding. Arkham, whatever the new one is, Origins.
Yeah.
I haven't played it yet, but I know what's going to happen. I'm going to play through the main story campaign and then sack it off.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try for the fucking Riddler trophies or Enigma packs or whatever the fuck they've called them.
I think you get to a point where you just realise that all they're doing is padding out the game with what is essentially cheap, easy content. And it's there to make you think the game is longer than it is.
But I know what I can play now. Wonderful 101, I've got it. Fucking loving it. Absolutely brilliant game. I'm playing it on very easy. Because I don't have the time to do the challenge.
Paddy, I've put more time into FTL than I have into any game. I've put more time into FTL than I have into Arkham City.
Have you unlocked a second race yet?
Yeah, I've got the NG.
Yeah.
I don't know how I get any more beyond that, but
There are other races.
yeah.
You can have Voltons.
You can unlock multiple ship
configurations
as well, but you have to do the missions, and one of them is having 6 different races on board at one time. I had 5 at one point. I was like, yes, come on, I've done it. And I died. It's really annoying. And one of them is have every single upgrade on your ship. I got to the end freaking level and I still couldn't upgrade my entire ship.
Yeah.
That takes effort.
Wait. Is that Ground Zero?
Yeah.
Kojima popped forward defending Metal Gear Solid's length. Yeah. And the problem is more a thing of, why does he have to defend its length?
Yeah.
That's what it came to for me, and there were a few other people that popped forward saying it's wrong that a game developer has to defend the length of a game.
Nobody watches a movie and says, God, I paid 20 quid and it only lasted.
Yeah, on the same grounds that we were praising The Order for sacking off multiplayer because they knew that's not the game they were making.
Exactly.
It's the same thing for Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid and Kojima Studios are or Fox Games or whatever they're calling themselves at the minute, are making the game that they're making. And as long as they think it justifies the full cost, then does it fucking matter how long it takes to play it?
Games have got to the point where it's not about the game, it's about the money.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not a good state to be in. Movies have done it as well. You still get the odd movie that comes out where it is purely about this is a good movie. But so many come out where basically you have a white background, 2 characters leaning against each other, and some text written over the top in some kind of Helvetica font. And that's a movie. It's just the way it works.
Kojima shouldn't be forced to defend himself on this one.
No.
And Metal Gear Solid is one of those games where it doesn't really need it, because I don't know anybody that would play a Metal Gear Solid game and only focus on the primary story.
Exactly. So, we also have John Carmack making a response.
Well, we've already discussed this.
Yeah, and I still don't quite understand his statement. I know I probably should get this, but
it's because it's based on the engine, and it's John Carmack, despite the fact that he's not working for the company anymore, still trying to sell the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
And he's saying a Sonic game that isn't locked at 60 frames per second is a crime against nature, despite the fact that the Sonic team that are working on on that engine are just saying it is.
I don't get it.
It's just basically John Carmack trying to remind people that he still exists.
Yeah. A game that isn't locked to 60 frames a second is a crime against nature. So is that it shouldn't go above 60 or it shouldn't go below 60? I'm lost.
Yeah.
Because you can't prevent a game from going below 60, but you can prevent a game from going above 60. But why would it benefit you going above 60? I just don't get it.
Let's move on. John Carmack is a bit of a twat.
Yeah.
So is the prankster that caused Ubisoft to accidentally, temporarily lose their responsibility for the Watch Dogs trademark.
Yeah, it's not really that much of a story. He just fraudulently made out that he
filled in the right bits of paperwork.
Yeah.
That were required for Ubisoft to lose their rights to the Watch Dogs trademark, and managed to fake Guillermo del Toro's signature. It's not Guillermo del Toro, is it?
Not in the slightest.
He makes some very good films, but it's apart from Hellboy and the Golden Army, because that was shite.
The worst thing is now I've got John Filamy, but that's EA for some reason. That's in my head. The Ubisoft dude.
Yeah.
Whoever he is. I forget his name.
The Ubisoft dude.
Yeah.
With the Yves Saint Laurent or whatever.
Yeah.
But he managed to forge the right signature that managed to get them to. We've mentioned.
Got away with it. Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, we've
not quite sure what that reveals about their strategy.
No. We went through this briefly, but we'll go back onto it because we talked about the fact that Nintendo's owners have Nintendo's founding family have backed out, and Nintendo's directors have taken pay cuts. They've announced their 2014 strategy, and the 2014 strategy.
So in fact, more than 2013 is that the strategy?
Well, no, we discussed it because it's the licensing of their IPs out to other people. Another thing is that they've got Mario Kart 8 on the way, and it's coming out in May.
And it's freaking hovercrafts, and it's just Sonic and whatever.
It is. It's Sonic Unleashed. And no, not Sonic Unleashed.
I led you down that route because I had Sonic Unleashed in my head. Now I went Sonic. Sonic
All Stars Racing Transformed. Yeah. I should really know that because I've had it on every platform it's released.
Craig is face palming at the fact that we just said Sonic Unleashed. No! We spent years of effort to get us trained to say Sonic
and All Stars Transformed, made by Sumo Digital. Very good developers. Yeah. Very good game.
We love you. Don't stop giving us games.
And there's a reason that Nintendo are ripping them off. However,
it was a good
game. Other part of the Nintendo strategy that we didn't actually discuss is the fact that the DS games are coming to the Nintendo Wii U Virtual Console. And I would like to say now, fucking called it!
Pretty much the day the Wii U was released, Paddy said the DS games would come out because, hell, you've got two screens, you may as well.
You've got two screens, you've got a touch screen and a visual screen. Where the fuck is my DS Wii U Virtual Console?
It wasn't the most sound logic until he mentioned the fact that you could play Pokemon, and that was about it, really.
Game over.
Yeah, actually, you're right, you could. Well done. let's get Pokemon.
Pokemon Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. As soon as Pokemon comes out, that's it. That's the Wii U sales are going to go through the roof.
Pokemon Phoenix Wright brain training. Job done.
Now scrap the other two. Pokemon can sell anything. It sold the Wii U with the 2DS or whatever the hell. It told the
2DS.
That block that has
Pokemon Snap gave an end life cycle to the N64.
Yeah, the Pokemon dictates the Nintendo system. As bad as that is, Pokemon is the only thing that hasn't been on the Wii U.
Yeah,
it wasn't even on the Wii.
No,
Wii sold purely because it was a gimmick. As bad as that is, and the software sales explain that perfectly because what was it, about 2 games per console, something like that?
Yeah.
It was not a successful console in a game's perspective. It was
a
not successful console as a
there's a reason the third party don't fucking favour them.
Exactly, yeah. And they destroyed. This is what destroyed the Wii U. The Wii destroyed the Wii U.
Yeah.
Because it had a horrible reputation. But Pokemon has sold well on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
The Game Boy Color.
Just
the Game Boy
re-release.
Every single.
The moment they give us the DS Virtual Console and re-release the DS Pokemon, it's game over. The Wii U's just going to fly off the shelves.
To be fair, Pokemon should be like Mass Effect for Nintendo.
Yeah.
It should be a game that you progress throughout the entire Pokemon range. It doesn't, but it should.
Yeah.
And they kind of missed a trick. So, Microsoft.
This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
They've actually bought the Gears of War IP rights from Epic. Because Epic had decided they weren't making any Gears of War games anymore. They've decided that they've played it out. So Microsoft have just bought it from them. And I'm not opposed to this.
I am.
Are you?
If the creators of a game think it's dead,
it's not that
let it fucking die.
It's not that the creators of the game thought it was dead. It's just that they didn't think that they could take it any further. And Microsoft didn't want to give up a franchise that, quite frankly, made their console in quite a substantial way. Gears of War was one of the key games that made the 360.
Yeah, Gears of War and Halo. They made the Xbox.
So why would Microsoft want to give up on that? When they could buy the franchise and give it back. Give it to another studio.
Of desperation. Hey guys, we're still got Gears of War. I mean, come on. Halo is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Gears of War is dead. They need to let them go.
Yeah, cover shooter games are kind of.
This is the one thing Sony have in their advantage, is the fact that they didn't really have a franchise.
No, they didn't.
They had Little Big Planet, which did reasonably well. They didn't have
although they still have Little Big Planet, and the next Little Big Planet World, I didn't realise until last week. Little Big Planet is now Sumo Digital.
Really?
It's now Sumo.
Nice. But either way, it's not. Microsoft went after the hardcore crowd with Gears of War and Halo, both of which games have died. They had the racing crowd with Forza. Forza is the only one that can continue. Yeah. Because Forza doesn't have a story. No. Forza is purely...
Although it does have the annoying thing that we pointed out in the Burnout video that we recently released. Driving between fucking races is pointless.
Yeah. I've bought a £1 million race car. I think I'll drive to my next race. No, will you fuck? You'll put it on the back of a trailer. Yeah. And you will go to your next race through some kind of fast travel mechanism like any normal sane person. Yeah. It is wrong that you have to drive. So, Microsoft also in the news have offered $100 to ditch your PS3.
Yes.
Now this isn't a bad marketing. From a marketing perspective, this is brilliant. If people go, $100 to ditch my PS3, fuck yeah. Actually, what they're doing is making up the price difference between the PS3 and the PS4. Yeah. So if you want
the Xbox One and the PS4.
Sorry, the Xbox One and the PS4. So if you buy a PS4, it's $100 cheaper. Yeah.
If you trade in your PS3, they will give you an Xbox One for the price that they give you a PS4.
Yeah. Or you could buy a PS4, keep your PS3, and have the best of both worlds. Yeah. It's a nice little marketing exercise, but ultimately it's poor value for money. It's just a kick in the teeth.
The next story, Gow doesn't know much about, but basically the Funcom office was raided this last fortnight.
Nice.
Charged with stock infringement, and I've forgotten exactly why. It's one of the developers was kind of questioned on grounds that.
See, I'm useful.
Wow, you can read that better than I can. Basically, the Economic Crime Unit raided the office, seized documents, and there's one member of staff that's kind of implicated in stock infringement and selling his shares at the wrong time.
I love the fact that somebody's in this article says we've reached out to Funcom for more details.
They're not saying anything.
That's it. There's just nothing more. So,
but it's quite interesting that Funcom haven't been having a good time. It's been bad for them for quite a while.
Quite a while now, yeah. To be fair, it's the same with anyone that bases their entire business model upon MMOs.
MMOs, yeah.
It's just not a good way to go.
Right, we've got Steam allowing to cancel pre-orders. Have we discussed that, or
roughly? Yes, you can cancel pre-orders on Steam.
That's all there really is to it. It finally digital catches up with physical, and if the game you pre-ordered looks like it's going to be shit, you can cancel it before you fucking buy it.
Yeah, as most people should, but don't.
Yeah,
because let's be honest, a lot of games that are pre-ordered.
There are actually quite a few games I've pre-ordered, and they've turned up, and I forgot that I'd actually pre-ordered them.
My biggest noise is the fact that order this now and you get all of this shit free, but you have no idea how good this game will be.
Jesus Christ. the one that's annoyed me, that it's not in there, but fucking hell. There are a bunch of fucking pre-order stuff for Infamous Second Son. PS4 exclusive, platform exclusive, got fucking retail specific pre-order bonuses. For fuck's sake, pre-order bonuses need to die in the fires of hell while being buggered by the child of Satan.
Basically, buy this game, which could be shit but might not be, in advance, and we will give you some free stuff.
But it's buying it from a specific store will get you this free stuff. Buying it from this store will get you this free stuff. Buying it from this store will get you that free stuff. I don't mind if all the stores are offering the same free stuff and I can buy the pre-order wherever the fuck I want. If I have to buy it from this store to get this and this store to get that, fuck off. I'm not buying a game, full stop. I'm not buying Infamous Second Son until they give me a Game of the Year edition when I can have all of the shit.
Yeah. I'd like to argue with you. But not only does the retail factor annoy me, the fact that you go to this store, you get this, you go to that store, you get that. The whole concept is you are buying this on a whim.
It's the fact that with Infamous, it's actually in-game content. It's not just random skins, it's not just weapons, it's actually entire missions that are specific to retails.
But let's be honest, those entire missions could be shit. The entire game could be shit.
Yeah.
The entire thing is just a complete...
Those missions will be secondary missions and they won't be core storyline missions. Yeah. They can't be. Because of the very nature of it. But that
no one would ever do that Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
That would just be suicide.
I won't buy it. I just won't accept it. Moving on from that, the Avant Cliff, which is, I think, still on Kickstarter. I'm not sure if it's been...
I have no idea.
It's what you want.
Yep.
It's a headset that will give you the...
You showed me the video of this and I still not. It's a headset that makes it look like a guy from Star Trek.
Yeah.
So
Johnny LaForge.
Yeah, that entire kind of whole... This bit that goes over your head.
It's basically...
This bit that supports the weight of the earphones. Yeah. Flips down the front.
No. They don't support... They've never supported the weight of the earphones. They've just used the tension.
Seriously? You want a pair of Siberias?
Yeah.
That supports the weight of the earphones.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't, because they still sit fine like that, and
that is not comfortable.
They sit fine like that.
No, that means undue pressure on the side of your head. You look like a retard. You look like the guy from Star Trek.
I accept the looking like a retard, but they don't hold any weight.
You try have a tiny head.
No, the mere tension of them holds the weight, but it doesn't matter what angle the tension is at.
Paddy, you have a normal human-sized head. Right?
I have a very huge head.
Yeah, I have a peanut.
Yeah, you have.
The only way for that to stay on my head is if it's very tight. If it's very tight, it puts undue pressure on my face. And this whole thing of flipping it down the front as well is the fact that, right, you proved this with your demonstration. I'm going to do it now on camera. Right, great. I can see everything on that screen, everything there, everything down here and everything up there. There is no chance that a headband is going to be big enough to cover my entire eyes and everything, to rule out my peripheral vision, that I can have a proper visual experience.
Right,
Fuck that. It makes no sense. It's a stupid idea.
The idea of the Avant Glyph is that you have this kind of, not this kind of headset, but a solid headset, and that the band will be able to be spun down like this and form some kind of high definition big screen TV, because there'll be cameras in there.
Yes, but you must realise the fact that peripheral vision has a powerful role. Unless it fits perfectly, it can't work.
Yeah, I accept that.
And this is where things where your dedicated headsets, your Oculus and so on, are designed.
Your Oculus are designed to cover everything else out, to shut everything else out.
The Oculus is this big,
but
they want to build it into a headband this big. There's big, little, in case anyone's on audio.
Yeah.
There is no chance you can do that. Your peripheral vision is quite large.
The fact that they're not shutting everything off may cause problems, but for your average size head, and that's neither of us, because you've got the tiny head and I've got the huge head.
Yeah, I love the fact I sit near us at the camera so nobody can tell that similar sized heads. This is reality. That's actually my head next to Paddy's.
Yeah.
We're at the same distance now.
We are the extremes. You have the tiny head, I have the huge head.
Yeah.
You would have problems with you wouldn't get the entire screen.
I'd be able to see everything.
And I'd get the opposite side of it, that I'd see the peripheral vision. But the fact that somebody's actually looking at that as a possibility...
It's a cool idea, but it's no more than what is essentially a smartphone screen held close to your face. That's the problem. You can't have the Oculus-like experience. It's going to be a halfway in between.
Yeah, it depends how they get it, but it's interesting that know that people are on it.
Yeah. Steam Machine.
Okay, you want to talk about the Steam Machine?
Yeah.
You rant about the Alienware Steam Machine. I'm going to go get another drink.
I was about to say it's pretty much just a headline. Alienware have come out and saying that the Steam Machine upgradability is very limited, so you probably...
Yeah, they're not going to block upgradability.
Yeah.
You
can upgrade RAM.
You can upgrade anything on the Alienware Steam Machine as long as you can fit it in the shell.
Yeah. Good luck.
But good luck fitting anything other than what we tell you inside the shell.
But it's a Steam Machine, so I would... an Alienware machine, so it should have a Titan in there.
Yeah.
That's one of their options, surely, because it's an Alienware machine.
Oh, no, there's going to be no options. No.
Nothing is littler than a Titan.
There's no options on the Steam
bigger
Machine. There's no options on the Alienware Steam Machine.
But it's a Titan.
No, but they haven't said.
It's a Titan.
They haven't
it's Alienware.
They haven't said it's going to be a Titan.
They have made a point throughout the years of being the top dogs danglies of gaming.
They haven't said...
It has to be Titan. If it's not Titan, they fucked up. If it is Titan, you can fit anything in there because the Titan is the size of a fucking chip.
Yep.
Beyond there, what have we got? Nintendo, we've done that. Sony selling off their PC business.
You can talk about that for us a little while I just
fair enough.
grab a beer.
This is where me and Paddy differ. He likes to make a story of things, whereas I like to read a headline. Sony have had an appalling year. They've done terribly. Their earnings call was just basically a depressing set of figures that they are doing badly. To rectify the situation, they are focusing purely on media, so they're going to be doing the TVs, their mobile, and obviously the consoles. That means PC is going to get cut, so they're selling the Veo brand off to some investment group who are going to continue that brand, apparently, towards some kind of end where they'll probably shut it down themselves in a few years' time, because it's a PC. Other than that, the console market is doing well, the games market is doing well, and the mobile market has legs.
They're not ready to sell the mobile market yet, but I expect that to be less than a year.
Yeah, I was going to say, the mobile market has legs, but they haven't made the gains they wanted to make. Not in the slightest.
No.
It's a shame that the creators need to justify games length. Is that related to a previous...
That's related to the Kojima story.
Fine.
That's other developers stepping out and going, why do we have to justify
length
that a game is this long?
Yeah.
As long as our game proves that it's worth its money, then does it matter how fucking long it is?
Exactly.
If a $40 game proves its worth in 4 hours, is it any less of worth?
Nobody watched Titanic and wept at the end and went, oh God, I wish this was longer.
I got kicked out.
You got kicked out of Titanic?
Yeah, I laughed.
Oh, fair enough. I was too young. I wasn't even allowed to see Titanic.
I was very embarrassingly, I took my mother as a Mother's Day gift to see Titanic. And I got kicked out.
Bit of insight.
Yeah, I got kicked out for laughing. Because it was just that bad.
I'll never let go, Jack. Oops. That's the bit that gets me every time.
It's the guy that bounces off the fucking fan blades.
He really does bounce, doesn't he? So Last of Us wins a DICE Award for Game of the Year.
It's won...
Rightly so.
It's won many DICE Awards. Do you want to talk about the DICE Awards, or do you want to just...
No, I'll be honest, that is it. It has won a DICE Award. That's all it needs to be said. It was a freaking epic game, and they have a...
Yeah, but the DICE Awards were actually quite good, so let's quickly go through them.
They have a DLC as well coming out on
Valentine's Day, yeah.
So any of you that don't have a girlfriend can play with Ellie, you inappropriate bastards.
This year's DICE Awards. So, Game of the Year went to Last of Us. Outstanding Achievement in Original Musical Composition went to Bioshock Infinite.
Yep.
Up against Beyond, Puppeteer and Rayman.
Yep.
Outstanding sound design went to Last of Us.
Yep.
Above Beyond and Bioshock.
Yep. Achievement in Story, Last of Us. Outstanding Character Performance, Last of Us. Downloadable Game of the Year was Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Yep.
Casual Game of the Year was Plants vs Zombies 2, you fucking money grabbing bastards.
Hang on. But it was up against Candy Box, Peggle, Rayman Fiesta Run and Ridiculous Fishing.
Peggle wins every
but
time.
Ridiculous Fishing.
I don't care, Peggle.
Although
Ridiculous Fishing, granted, it was good, but I got drunk and forgot about it. So it's fine. Role-playing or massively multiplayer game of the year. Granted, those two don't belong together.
Role-playing or massively multiplayer game of the year. Diablo 3 over Dota 2, Dragon's Dogma, Ni no Kuni, and Pokemon X and Y.
That was wrong.
Yes, of that set, Dota 2 should have won.
Yeah. Also, outstanding innovation in gaming. Last of Us won. It shouldn't have.
No.
There was nothing innovating about Last of Us other than the fact that they put a bit of effort into the story. I say a bit of effort. They put a lot of fucking effort into the story.
A lot of effort in.
But in terms of innovation, it wasn't
against Stanley Parable Tearaway.
Even against Grand Theft Auto. I know it sounds daft, but Grand Theft Auto I found more innovating. Last of Us I found a more compelling game.
Yeah.
But Grand Theft Auto I found a bit more innovating. They really did push the boundaries. I've sat there...
They pushed the boundaries of Grand Theft Auto. They didn't really push the boundaries of gaming.
My mouth was wide open. The fact that it could be so big, it could be so varied. I found that a bit... Last of Us was a platforming game with zombies that had a very, very, very strong focus on gaming, but I wouldn't say it was innovative.
No,
that's a bit of a harsh view. I'm going quite cutthroat on that.
I'm happy to agree with you. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it was
sports game of the year, FIFA 14. I'm
pick one. We don't care. Racing game, Forza. Yeah, again, pick one. We don't care. Fighting game of the year, Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Yes, I give you that.
Yeah, why
Injustice. The other options were Killer Instinct or Dive Kick.
Yeah. Strategy.
Personally, the gut instinct goes with Dive Kick because it's so simple. Yeah. But which one would I buy? Which one, if I had to actually put physical money on the line, I'd buy Injustice.
Yeah. Strategy/simulation game of the year went to
XCOM.
Right, I want to point out nothing comes close.
No, Civ 5, possibly,
but still.
Nothing
comes close.
Strategy-wise, it's a close call between XCOM and Civ. You've got to accept that.
But Civ falls more within a...
strategy.
Yeah, I know it's a strategy
game.
It's
grander strategy.
Exactly, it's more godlike.
It's closer to God Sim. But if you're going to put them in the same category, then it's a close call between the two.
And either one of them, battle sim.
Yeah, either one of them could have won that category.
Exactly. Family game of the year went to Super Mario.
Yep.
When it should have gone to Rayman.
No award on this planet should go to Rayman Legends ever.
I love the fact I don't wind you up so easily. Mobile game of the year went to Plants vs Zombies 2, which was wrong. I don't care what else it went to be honest, but Plants vs Zombies 2...
Ridiculous Fishing was in the nominations.
Exactly, I lost interest in Plants vs Zombies very quickly. Handheld game of the year
went to... They've rebuilt the entire world map on Plants vs Zombies 2. Really? Yeah, they've made it very, very simple.
To rectify the fact
they've rectified the fact that they launched a piece of crap that was so fucking about money that it was ridiculous.
Yeah. So handheld game of the year went to Legend of Zelda: Link Between Two Worlds.
Good call.
It was either that or Pokemon, and let's be honest, we couldn't differentiate.
No.
Adventure game of the year, Last of Us. again, it's hard to differentiate, but Legend of Zelda probably should have been close in there.
No, but that Link Between Worlds was a mobile game.
But it's still an adventure game. Online game of the year was World of Tanks.
I'm sorry, but the World of Tanks, the World of series,
I can't judge it because I haven't played it. So
has been slowly trundling along to quite a fucking juggernaut in the MMO realm, and quite frankly, it's deserved more recognition sooner than it's got it. And yes, I'm happy that it beat out. In fact, what it was up against was Battlefield 4, Borderlands 2, Diablo 3, and Last of Us. None of them are fucking online games. They are just games that happen to have online play.
Exactly.
Whereas World of Tanks,
Battlefield is an online game.
Yes.
Borderlands, Diablo, Last of Us, not online games. I'll happily agree with you, but the Battlefield series by default, it hasn't even had a single player. It was purely online. But everything else...
World of Tanks, you'd give it over Battlefield 4 because it's designed to be an online game.
Well, Battlefield should be. I don't know about Battlefield 4, but every single previous Battlefield didn't even have a single player mode.
Yeah.
It was literally... Okay. We threw bots into one map.
Let's move on.
Game of the Year... Action Game of the Year went to Bioshock Infinite, which...
It's Battlefield 4, Dead Rising, DMC, Resogun. Personally, I'd given it Resogun because I love that game.
Outstanding achievement in animation went to Last of Us. Outstanding achievement in art direction went to Last of Us. Outstanding achievement in visual engineering went to Last of Us. Outstanding achievement in gameplay engineering went to Grand Theft Auto, not The Last of Us. Yeah. But outstanding achievement in game direction went to Last of Us. So basically, Last of Us.
Yeah, DICE loved Last of Us.
Yeah, which I can't blame them because, like everyone said, it was a swan song for the current console. It was absolutely...
It was... If there was such a thing as a swan song for a generation, Last of Us went, we are PS3 fucking worshippers.
As far as I'm concerned, they did what Heavy Rain wanted to do.
Yeah.
They became that leap from we're games and you shoot things and blow shit up to we're a fucking respectable medium.
Yeah, we are games to we are fucking art.
Yeah, exactly. It went from... The same thing as movies when they first started out. They weren't necessarily... Charlie Chaplin, it was comedy, it was slapstick, it was entertaining, but it wasn't pushing the boundaries. And it took a very long time to get from that to what movies have become now. And we still get the slapstick, we still get the nonsense. And games is the same. We've taken a very long time. We've gone from the kind of spy versus spy and the old style games to... what could be classed now as more art. It evokes some kind of response from you.
But we're at that point now where we've got the games niches. We've got the art games. We've got the slapstick games. We've got the crazy batshit insane games.
If we sum it up, you've got your AAAs, which are your Last of Us, which they can be evoking. They can get some kind of response from you.
Last of Us, I wouldn't actually class in the AAAs. You've got your AAAs, which are your Marvel universe. You've got your let's put this on superhero film characters, superhero films alone. So you got your AAAs, which is
I think you've just massively limited the movie.
I know, but just to make my point. So you got your generic things that are going to make easy money. So you got your Iron Mans, your Thors, your Avengers. But at the same time, you've got coming out your sideline films. So you've got your Guardians of the Galaxy, the things that are story pushed. And
you've lost me already. This is the problem. The way I would sum it up is Last of Us is the Titanics. It's mass appeal. It's very good story-driven thing.
See, I would put Last of Us more in the niche side of things.
No, I wouldn't. Last of Us is very much... It appeals to action gamers. It appeals to someone with an emotional drive. It appeals to someone... It's interested in zombies. It's appeals
to... that's why I had put it in the niche, because it's niche for every one of those particular niches, but... It's not AAA, because AAA tries to tick every single fucking box that there is to be ticked.
Right, Call of Duty is Die Hard. Let's look at it this way. Die Hard now has become action film. It's not necessarily not. It doesn't appeal to everyone, but it's action. It will guarantee to make money. Last of Us is that one that has jumped beyond that. It is appealing to lots of different peoples for lots of different reasons, and it could potentially make a lot of money on no money. It is that. It's like Avatar. It's like Titanic. It's like every fucking thing James Cameron makes. It could be massive. It could be nothing, and that is Last of Us.
I'm glad you said it, James Cameron, there, because every time Avatar's mentioned, I think Airbenders.
And then you have your...
Which is seriously, if you haven't watched Avatar The Last Airbender, not the film, the animated series. If you've watched the film, forget it, watch the animated series.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
And then you've got your Journeys, which are Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
They're the pretentious, over-the-top...
Journey, Limbo...
You can enjoy them, but you can't help
Journey,
but feel...
Limbo, Flower...
Yeah.
Braid...
You can't help but feel you were sipping on an espresso, relaxing in a coffee house.
You're sipping on a bowler hat of CK1 with a cherry.
Why not? Yeah. I've got CK1. But yeah, you know what I mean. There are three different distinct types. You have those that are mass appeal. You have those that are guaranteed money. And then you have those that are art house.
Yeah, I accept
and
that.
Is
mass appeal, yeah, I accept that. Last of Us, mass appeal.
Yeah. If I put this into context, even Fee wants to play Last of Us. She just can't get to grips with the controls. That is... Last of Us has that kind of appeal. Because it has characters, it has story, and it has gameplay to a point.
Make her play it.
Yeah. Whereas... Call of Duty is pure gameplay. It has a bit of story for those.
Do what I do with you.
Nuts.
On those kind of games where it's actually worth playing, and the story is strong enough.
Yeah.
Joe actually enjoys watching me play it.
Yeah, I tried that one, didn't work. I've got her playing Harry Potter Lego, and she's getting to grips with the controls through that. This is the problem. No game now starts from the beginning.
Yeah,
every game has this predefined level.
There is nothing to teach your new gamer how to handle.
This is where I commend Nintendo. They made Nintendo Play.
Yeah, there is nothing. There is nothing to teach a new gamer how to handle.
Yeah.
Thumbsticks.
Yeah, that and this, fine. Up, down, left, right, triangle, square, circle, X. Everyone can handle that. The buttons on top kind of get to grips with it. The thumbsticks, no chance.
Yeah. There is nothing to teach a new gamer that.
Yeah.
And it's only because we are old enough to remember fucking joysticks that we get that.
Yeah. And even then, you've got the modern ones. Inverted controls. I had this conversation the other day.
Yeah, inverted controls.
Inverted,
I'm not.
You're not. You're backwards. You should be. But you're not, because anyone of a certain age knows that up is down and down is up, because that's how flight sims work.
I can cope with inverted when I can't change the controls. When I can't change it, I will put up with inverted. Because I did.
I just think that my problem is, I think of the fact that if
I
was holding a camera and I had a stick on the back of it, if I pushed that stick up, the camera would go down. And that is how I understand things.
But remember that I was also a programmer, and I was a programmer from a very, very young age.
I think that's the problem. You see up as up and down as down. That is not the way it works. Everyone knows that programmers and usability people do not. No, they don't go together.
No, but there were a few games that didn't have inverted controls that, for me, did have inverted controls because I overrode the fuckers.
Well, there you go. I just think you're wrong.
We have one story left, and it's kind of a bad one to go out on, but it's kind of a good one at the same time.
Let's call him a hero. I think that's fair.
He is... Yeah, there is no other way to describe him but a hero. And that is...
right there.
That one?
Yeah.
NVIDIA marketing manager...
That was his name.
We're loading up his name. Philip Schultz. Schultz, possibly.
Yeah, I'm going to say Schultz.
Yeah, Philip.
Spelled weirdly.
Philip Schultz. He lost his life this on January the 20th, and not accidentally. He was actually saving the life of another person. He jumped on the train tracks to save the life of somebody else and lost his life in the process.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there's nothing else to that. There's just...
It's one of those awkward ones. You don't really want to mention it because it's a bit of a downer, but at the same time,
the guy has to be recognised for...
Yeah. It's like we had a long while back, there's a guy in a car crash, turned the car so he could take the brunt of the force. Exactly the same scenario.
It was DICE. It was a DICE developer. Deliberately spun his car so that his side of the car would take the brunt, rather than his wife's side of the car, who was pregnant with his child.
Yeah. And he deserves some kind of award, as does this guy. You need recognition for this kind of stuff. He went out of his way to try and help another man.
Yeah.
And by the sounds of it, he wasn't too successful. The other guy survived, but is in critical condition.
Yeah, the other side, the other guy has survived and is in critical condition.
But the fact he tried.
But the fact that the guy survived to be in critical condition is enough to make it worth mentioning.
Exactly. It puts a lot of things into context. But that is it, and you should definitely... I don't know where to... We have nothing to promote this.
No.
There is no fund. There is nothing to help this guy's family. I hope something comes out about this.
If there is something comes up, you can guarantee we will talk about it well before the next podcast.
Yeah. But that is it for our...
It's
a bit of a somber end, but at the same time, it's a happy end because some guys...
It needed to be said. And on that, we'll leave you.